We are here at the XRP Las Vegas event, and we are closing it out on the second day. And we're going to close it out with the one and only Jesse from Apex Crypto Consulting. How are you, my man?
Far too nice, Paul. I'm doing awesome. It's so nice to be here with you.
A lot happened at this event. You listened to Brad Garlinghouse, you listened to David Schwartz, you saw Jack McDonald on stage, you've got all of the Ripple, basically royalty, here in one building, and then you look at all of the rest of the industry now starting to coalesce around XRP.
Yep.
We had Solana on stage.
yeah.
What do you make of this, man? Are we in the Matrix now? What's going on?
Pretty much, Paul. Like I always say, I think this has been planned for a very long time, Paul. Ripple is coming from the highest of the high. This is coming from the central banking system. They're trying to fix the liquidity crisis.
Sure.
Right, and this is more for the central banks, for the powers that be.
Do you feel that the potential now of seeing the activity where XRP on Solana, OKX did an announcement here, now a major liquidity pool for RLUSD. This is going to open up, I think, adoption as well as distribution. Do you think these are the kind of things that really starts to propel the use case for XRP via what could happen in the XRP ledger? What's your thought?
Yeah, I think we're starting to see that, that integration starting to mature. They're integrating it into everything they can, right? Now, yesterday, the partnership announced with Zebek.
Yep.
It's my understanding is that the goal for XRP, which has been planned for over 30 years, is the more they can integrate it into everything, the more they make it liquid. The more liquidity, the more use cases, just integrate it into everything, which is actually what was said in the Rising Phoenix article in 1989. They said we're going to create a new world currency and we're going to make it successful within 30 years and we're going to relentlessly integrate it into everything. That's how we're going to make it liquid, to help with global liquidity. So I kind of see that happening now.
And you look at the power that this community has right now, which even Vibhu said this on stage, it's one of the most powerful communities on the entire internet. And I think when you consider that along with the strategic implementation of acquisitions, I asked Jack McDonald straight up, I'm like, okay, what are we missing?
You did.
So my question is, what are we missing?
I don't know if we're missing much, Paul, to be honest with you.
So you think Ripple is set, ready to go, turn this on when clarity comes through, Ripple banks, or excuse me, central banks as well as traditional banks start to lock in 13,000 different bank integrations claimed. What do you think?
I think they have a lot more than what they say. I know they've been connecting banks to RippleNet now for 8 years, literally 2, 3, 4 banks per week sometimes. I know the DTCC is going to use XRP for cross-border, cross-asset. I proved that in my deep dives. Swift has always been working with Ripple, in my opinion. I've shown clearly that there's 11,000 banks there. Swift can use third parties. The third parties connect to Ripple, so they don't even have to connect directly. They use third-party apps like CLS and all these. So I think there's many integrations. I don't know if it's just a matter of just flipping some corridors, flipping some switches a bit, but I think they have 95%. I'm not saying they can just, the whole volume goes in tomorrow, but I think they're way more ready than they tell us.
The roadmap is in place. It's just a matter of, how long does it take the integrations to really take place. Beyond that, we've talked a lot about where the real pivot will be around Swift, but also the central banks. So Swift, of course, looks as though they're weakening in the sense of being able to do anything. They already have a settlement layer problem, which is clearly evident. Do you think Ripple gets more than what Brad thinks they're going to get? He's claimed 15% or so. How much do you think?
Yeah, how would I word that? I don't, how would I word that? I don't think Brad was saying the full truth there.
All right.
I'll say it that way. Yeah,
he was being political.
Yeah, he's not, I don't think he was saying the full truth at all.
So you feel like the market potential there is much greater for what Ripple is doing?
14% within 5 years, no, it's to me, because if you look at the ISO 20022 standard, which is Swiss standard, Ripple and Stellar are the only blockchain company on the governance body of the ISO, which is a Swift standard, which started in 2004. So how can Ripple and Swift be competitors when Ripple is literally helping guide the standard, which is a Swift standard?
All right.
Because you need the ISO 20022 to, like, because Ripple can't be successful without the ISO 20022.
Yep.
Because if you settle a transaction instantly, you need to know where did the payment come from? Like, who's the sender, who's the recipient, where did they live, what's their, all that stuff, right? And this is what ISO does. That's why you start seeing Ripple being mentioned in 2004 by Ryan Fugger, 2004, Ripple Pay, all these things. At the same time, they're starting the ISO because they needed to. This has been planned for years, Paul.
Yeah, to implement.
That's why I don't see Swift and Ripple at competition. I always felt that was just theater.
Interesting, theater of the mind when it comes to that. All right, so when you look at the critical components right now of the Fed, and really what's happening with Kevin Warsh being just appointed here in the US, most likely we might get a rate cut. Many people are pointing to we're not going to get a rate cut. Does any of this really matter for where Ripple is heading, and especially the XRP price?
I don't think so. I mean, I think if they lower interest rates, obviously, and start stimulating the economy, I mean, get liquidity going from the central banking and treasury stuff, that will help in general, just the overall market. But I think Ripple, I think the utility of the XRP ledger, RippleNet, multi-hop, pathway finding, all their integrations, it's
too strong.
Yeah.
Well, and to your point, I think the possibilities are so great there to really kind of reset it. The Senate just went through this week, have pretty much left the henhouse door open. I don't know if you saw this, but they've opened it up the opportunity to where the Fed could do still a CBDC. So it hasn't been banned yet.
No, I hadn't seen
now
that.
They've opened this up. This was most recent legislation that's being proposed. So if that were to happen, and you get the US Fed going aggressive, let's say in a few more years when it's not a friendly Fed, as Warsh goes in, who knows what will happen after Kevin Warsh, if in fact there is, or maybe Warsh himself. Do you think there's a chance of a CBDC coming out?
They could. I think the only reason that they weren't doing the CBDC is because Trump was so much against it.
Yeah.
So if Trump's no longer president, we could likely see a CBDC.
So you feel the Fed could make it happen?
Yeah, if it's not the Trump administration in power, I think it's going to be obviously.
Man, that's a dystopian future, Jesse. I don't want to be thinking about that, man.
Sorry, man. Sorry, Paul.
I hate it when you bring the truth.
I know.
The truth hurts.
Could take years still, but I see it like the Trump administration versus the Fed versus the.
What are the things that you're most worried about right now in the XRP ecosystem?
It's just, I don't know if I have a worry. It's just that I kind of feel like this price might have been suppressed for a while. Like,
explain.
I don't understand how in 2007, 2018, the price hits over $3 with almost no integration.
Yep.
And now we're still at $1, like 7-8 years later. With all of these partnerships, all of these integrations, all of these acquisitions, something doesn't make sense to me because in 2017, 2018.
What do you think it is?
Well, I don't know if they're suppressing the price or it's just because they haven't flicked the switch on the corridors, because they're building the CBDCs.
Are you claiming there's bad actors in play, or are you claiming no, this is a strategic pathway?
Yeah, it could be just strategic. Or maybe they need to put everything in place first before they start lighting up corridors to help get the liquidity in.
Gotcha.
The liquidity going.
So really, for you, it's just a matter of roadmap, execution, market starts to react at that point. Hopefully all the key plays are in place, which is a friendly Fed, possible rate cut, and maybe a Clarity Act that gets through.
Yeah, and I don't even know if they need all those things. And the other thing too, that's why I can never give an answer on that or a very strong opinion is because I don't even know, are they using the XRP ledger? Are they going to peg XRP to gold maybe? Because they're talking about a new Bretton Woods, digital Bretton Woods 3. The original Bretton Woods was a global reserve currency backed by gold.
Yeah.
It was backed by something. And Judy Sheldon also, she's a big proponent of gold.
Yep.
She talked about distributed ledger. So I don't even know, is it not even flicking switches? Is it just like they peg it to gold somehow, or all the nations that are BIS, or
Well, you've got nation states that collecting gold at one of the most alarming rates that we've seen. So it's going to be interesting how this plays out. Listen, we're going to get into more on our next podcast for sure. We're wrapping up here at the XRP Las Vegas event. So Jesse, thanks for coming in today.
Thank you so much, Paul. It's always an honor to be on your show.
You bet. All right, you guys know what to do. Make sure and like and subscribe. If you're not following Jesse out there, where can they find you right now?
Apex Crypto Insights on YouTube.
Perfect. And you guys know what to do. Like, subscribe. We'll see you next time right here on the XRP Pod. Take care.